In this video, I'm going to show you how to remove and replace your air filter in a Chevy Malibu, located under the hood on the passenger side. Once you've opened your hood, air box is right here to the front of the drive belt passenger seat. It's located right here in the engine. So with a flathead screwdriver, we're going to disconnect this clamp for the inlet hose. You can also use a 8mm or 5/16 socket. Just loosen enough so that it can come off if you need to. Then you have 6 mounting bolts. Now it could be a flathead or a Phillips. Work your way around, get all 6 loose. They should not come all the way out. There's like a little shank to them so they don't come out of the airbox cover because they don't want you to lose them. So once you feel it's almost loose or feels like it's all the way out, kind of dances in place, just like that. Now you might not have to disconnect that air tube to the throttle body. I do because I don't want to ever have it pinch or cause a leak. That's just a practice the way I do it. And if you don't want to, you don't have to, but just make sure you have no vacuum leaks, because if so, you'll get a code because that mass airflow sensor will detect a vacuum leak. That being said, always make sure you tighten that hose clamp back up, because that is mistaken, or shall I say, forgotten quite often. Okay, so now all screws are loose, and you'll see this hook's down here in the front. So you lift it up from the rear and wiggle it out. That's why I take the hose off, because now I can really get in there and see what I've got. Now if you have a surprise like debris like this, make sure you clean it up before you put your new air filter in. Now take your new air cleaner and line it up in the pattern that it shows, just like that. Make sure it sits down and seated. Let's take that air box cover. Sometimes I look in there just to make sure there's no surprises. Go ahead and put those 2 tabs in the front down in, like that. Now I'm going to mount my air tube to the throttle body. Make sure it's mounted. And I'm going to tighten it before I go any further. Reason being, I don't want to forget it. Flathead screwdriver or 8mm 5/16 socket. Make sure it's snug. Make sure it's lined up. All the keyways are in place. Okay, now the air boxes seem to be seated properly. I'm going to take the screwdriver, start mounting the screws as I go around. I'm going to get them started. I'm not going to snug it all down. I want to make sure they all line up. Nothing worse than having to go backwards and undo things, right? They're all screwing into the bottom part of the airbox. That way I know there's no problems. The air filter hasn't shifted. It's not unseated, not seated correctly, or any issues. That feels great. So now I'm just going to, last one, I'm just going to snug it right up. And there's no Torx on this. It's just a screw in a plastic box. So you just want it to bottom out. From that last one. Now you're done. When only the best will do, demand TRQ. The only company that lets you view before you do. TRQ is committed to offering the highest quality aftermarket auto parts that are engineered for peace of mind. Thanks for using and viewing with TRQ.